Okay, so here is a close-up of the bandana that we're going to be making for our pups. This will work for any size dog because all you need to do is measure their neck. So you're going to need yarn. You can use whatever yarn you'd like. I'm using acrylic. I love this yarn in green camo stripe. I will also be using a 5.5 millimeter hook. That's what I used to make this one. You will need scissors, a yarn needle, a button, and my button measures, it's 1 inch. So a button, and then of course some kind of tape measure so that you can measure your dog. So if you haven't already measured your dog yet, go ahead and do that. And what I did was I just measured basically where their collar sits. And for my small dog, my littlest dog, his neck circumference was 16 inches. So we're going to be starting down here, working our way up and out. That's how the rows will go. So when you get to, you just have to measure as you go. And when you get to your desired length, that's when you're done with your bandana. Okay, so to begin, you can start with a chain 4 and connect that to make your circle, which I'll show you that way real quick, but it's not the way I'm going to do. I'm going to use a magic ring. But for those of you who don't like the magic ring, you're just going to chain 4. So slip knot on your hook, yarn over, pull through, it's your first chain, yarn over, pull through, second chain, yarn over, pull through, third chain, yarn over, pull through, fourth chain. The first chain you made, you're going to insert your hook, yarn over, pull it through the loop on your hook. So in here you'll have a really tiny hole, and basically that's the same thing as if you had done a magic ring, except you don't have to tighten because your ring is already tight. So I'm going to do a magic ring, but that's how you would do the chain 4 if that's what you prefer. So after you have your ring or your chain 4 ready, you're going to chain 3. 1, 2, 3. You're going to make a single crochet into your ring. And to make a single crochet, you insert your hook, pull up a loop, yarn over, and pull through both loops. After that single crochet, you're going to chain 2. 1, 2. Then you'll make another single crochet. Insert, pull up a loop, yarn over, pull through both loops. You're going to make another chain 2 and one more single crochet. And that is the end of your first round. And if you did the magic ring, you can tighten it now. So it's like we have this little, kind of looks like a triangle because, I mean, it's basically what we are making. So round 2, you're going to chain 3. 1, 2, 3. And in the first space, that's where you made a chain. It's called a chain space. In that space, you're going to insert your hook, pull up a loop, yarn over, pull through both. So you just single crocheted. Then you're going to chain 1. And now we're in what I call the tip which is done differently than the rest of the chain spaces. So in your space, you're going to insert your hook, pull up loop, yarn over, pull through. So you made your first single crochet. You're going to chain 2, and in the same space, you're going to make another single crochet, and then chain 1, which brings you to your last space from that previous round, where you are going to make a single crochet, chain 2, make another single crochet. That's the end of row 2. So you're going to chain 3, turn your work. Oops. Now we are on row 3, and we're going to do the same thing. Find your first space, make a single crochet and a chain 1. Go into your next space, single crochet, chain 1. Now we're at the tip, so we're going to single crochet, chain 2, single crochet, chain 1. In the next space, single crochet, chain 1, last space, single crochet, chain 2, single crochet. So it's the same thing for each round. We're just getting wider and wider. You're going to do a single crochet and a chain 1 for every chain space that you have. The only ones that are different are the middle one, where you do a single crochet, a chain 2, a single crochet, and then a chain 1. And the last space is always different as well. You single crochet, chain 2, single crochet. So let's do another round. Chain 3. We're on row 4. Single crochet into your first space, chain 1. Next space, single crochet, chain 1. Next space, single crochet, chain 1. You should be at your center chain space now. Make a single crochet, chain 2. The chaining 2 is what gives it that tip. Single crochet after your chain 2, and then chain 1. Single crochet, chain 1 in the next, single crochet, chain 1, single crochet, this is the last one, chain 2, single crochet. I'm not sure if you can hear all that noise, but those are my chickens, in case you're wondering, or if you can hear that. Somebody must be laying an egg, because they always sound mad. So chain 3, turn your work, and you're just going to do the same thing. Find your first chain space, single crochet, chain 1, next chain space, single crochet, chain 1, single crochet, chain 1. And you're going to do that all the way until you get to the tip. And that is where you're going to do a single crochet, chain 2, single crochet, chain 1. And then back down the other side, single crochet, chain 1, Last one, single crochet, chain 2, single crochet. So you're just going to keep going until this top part, which this is the part that's going to wrap around their neck. So that is this part. You're just going to keep going until it measures however long you need it to be for your dog. I will do a couple more with you, and then I will do the majority off camera. So we are on, I believe, round 5. It doesn't matter because they're all the same. So you're going to chain 3. Your first space from that row, single crochet, chain 1. Next one, single crochet, chain 1, single crochet, chain 1, single crochet, chain 1, single crochet, chain 1. Now we're at our tip, single crochet, chain 2, single crochet, chain 1. And then just back down the other side. Keep doing your single crochets and your chain 1s until you get to the last space. Oh no. Oops. I have a knot. And my hair is in it. That's cool. Okay. And then last one, single crochet, chain 2, single crochet. And I don't think I said this, but you're putting your single crochets and your chain 1 in the space. The chain 1 is what makes the space. So the chain 1 from that previous round is what I mean when I say chain spaces. So if I confused you at all, sorry, I meant to say that earlier. But yeah, so this is what we have so far. It's a little, and just to show you, I've done, I think, what is that? 1, 2, 3, 4, 6 rounds, and I'm at like 3.5 inches. So I've got a while to go because I need to get to 16 for my dog. So I'm going to do some more of this off camera. I'll show you some of my progress. Okay, just a little update on my progress. Here I am. I've done, let's see, 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12. I'm on my 13th row, which I think that's right. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Sorry, my 12th row. And I am at 8 inches, so I'm halfway done with mine. So I've got 8 more inches to go, just to compare it to when it will be done. And I also realized I didn't even say the name of the stitch. At least I don't remember saying it, but we're doing the moss stitch. You can do moss stitch in regular rows. You can do it like this as a triangle, and you can also do it in the round as a square. So it's one of my favorite stitches to do. So I'm going to do the rest of my rows up until my last, and I'll show you how I made this to hook over the button. Okay, so here's what I've got so far, and I'm about to do my last row. So I just wanted to show you how to do the hole for the button because I include it in my last row. So what you're going to do is, let me show you real quick my measurement just so you can see how close I am. So I'm at 15.5 inches. And when I go to do my last row, that will put me at 16. So I'm at my corner. And I'm going to chain 1, 2, 3, 4. I'm going to chain 5. You can do more or less depending on how big or small your button is. And then, so normally you would be chaining 3 to start your row, but you're just going to chain up for your button. I'm going to do 5. And then in that first space, I'm going to make my single crochet and my chain 1 as I normally would. And then I'm going to complete my row as I normally would. So that's the only difference. Your last row, the starting chain is just longer or shorter to accommodate your button. And if you aren't sure, where did I put my button? Oh. You can chain it, make your first single crochet, and then just pass your button through, see if it fits through comfortably enough where you like it. And for me, that's fine. So I'm going to stick with my chain 5. Now I'm going to complete the rest of my row and I'll meet you when I'm over here. Okay, so I just completed my last single crochet, chain 2, single crochet of the row. And now I'm going to cut, but I'm going to give myself a decent sized tail because I'm going to use this end to sew the button on. So I don't know, I'm going to give myself 12 inches. It's more than enough, but better to be safe than sorry. So when you're done with your single crochet, you're just going to yarn over and pull through, and then just pull that tight. And then you're going to grab your yarn needle. And you just want to thread it through. And then what I like to do is just go back behind the stitches I just made. So it's hard to see because I ended on such a dark color. But I'm just inserting it behind my single crochets. And then I'm going to grab the row under and insert it behind those ones as well, just so it's kind of hidden, because you don't want your button directly on the tip. You want it over a little bit, if that makes sense. So you're going to grab your button, figure out your placement. I like to do it where it's just, I like to do it just not on the edge, just a little in. So you can't really see it from the other side. So I just do it where it looks like, I can't think of the words I'm trying to say, but this is a great spot. And what you're going to do is, I'm going to need a smaller yarn needle. 1 second. You're just going to, will this one fit through? No, I didn't think about that. You do need a button that has a decent sized hole, or you're going to need a yarn needle that's small enough. So just make sure your yarn needle can fit through the hole in your button. So I'm going to re-thread my yarn, and then I'm just going to insert it into whatever hole, pull it all the way through, push it down on my bandana, and then I like to go crisscross, so just put it through the hole across from it. You're going to come out the back, pull it tight, and then just kind of aim for the next hole. Cross over to that top one. And then I do it one more time just so I know that the button is fairly secure. So just 2 crisscrosses for each hole. Okay. And then you're just gonna make a knot with your tail. Let me see if I can zoom a little bit. I just, wow, my voice. I just go under whatever post I can find. And I've got it like this loop. I haven't pulled it all the way through yet. And I'm just gonna put my needle in that loop and then pull it tight so it kind of makes a little knot right there. And then you can do that however many times you like, but that's good enough for me. My dogs aren't crazy or anything. The button's not going to come falling off. And then you're just going to weave in your tail. So I just like to go behind the single crochets and I'll go back and forth. So I'm going to go this direction. Just so I know the tail is not going to pop out. And then I'm going to do it again, going the other direction. So this is a single crochet and I came out the middle of it, so I'm going to go around the whole thing again, back down behind all of these single crochets, and that's how I like to weave in for this. And then I'm satisfied with that. It feels quite secure. And then all I have left to do is weave in my beginning tail. And then we are done. Okay, so we just finished weaving in that tail. And this is my finished bandana. So, I have 3 dogs. I made them all a bandana. And I made all of the bandanas in one day. That's how simple it is. This one's kind of frayed just because it's been through the washer and the dryer, but that doesn't bother me, and I don't think it bothers my dog either. This one I did a different stitch. This is, I believe, the lemon peel stitch. And then I have this one. This is my German Shepherd's bandana. And my German Shepherd can get very dirty. This was totally covered in mud before I washed it, and it came out completely. So if you have a dog who gets down and dirty, this will still work for them. It washed just fine. This one I don't think I put in the dryer, and I think that's why it's not fraying. But the other 2 I did put in the dryer. I just air dried this one. But I washed them just with whatever regular laundry I had. So, and then this one is a V-stitch. I don't think I said that. V-stitch, lemon peel. If you want me to show you how to do those stitches for these, I can make another video. Just let me know. But yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed this. Thanks for watching. Bye.